Hello everyone, welcome to another episode on our channel, Aikido Virtual Dojo. And we hear quite often that Aikido is faked, right? That when the uke or the attacker is coming in with the attack, the nage is doing the technique. And actually the uke is following the technique and faking it so that he can go down and the technique could work. Which is actually not really completely the true, right? There is a notion of following the technique for certain reasons that we will explain also in this video. But even if the uke doesn't follow the technique can still work and be efficient, just it will turn out a bit different than intended. And it will not look so nice. So let's have a look at a specific example. We decided to talk today about the shomen'uchi ikkyo technique, and we'll show you a little bit what it looks like when the uke is not following and why the uke would have an interest in following the technique. So one of the reasons we chose today to work on the shomen'uchi ikkyo technique is because I had actually a student who challenged me on this technique when I was showing in the training in the class when I was teaching. And the student said, okay, but if I attack you, the technique looks really nice, it's fluid, it's beautiful, there are all these details and so on. But if I attack you really hard, you will not be able to do the technique. And then I said, okay, let's give it a try. So we will try to see with Durot if we can kind of reproduce it. But let's start with the basic technique first, okay? So in the shomen'uchi ikkyo, we connect, the basic form we connect first. And from here I start moving. So I will enter, do the ikkyo spiral, get the uke to the ground, to the tatami, and finish with an immobilization on the ground, right? And of course, Durot is in a way following the technique, which we will come back to a bit later on. But when the student who was challenging me, he said like his intention was not to follow the technique, his intention was to go through with a strike. So imagine he might have had something, a stick or a stone or something in his hand, he wants to attack from the top and he goes full force, right? So let's try to make it. We didn't try before, so it's really improvisation right now. So Durot will come in maybe with the right hand and really like with full power just trying to strike my head. Okay, so it happened fast. It was a hard attack. I didn't make the technique as you have seen, so the basic technique didn't really work. But still the movement of the technique, the basic movement of the technique allowed me to return the energy or to turn the energy of the attack and get the uke down on the ground, like make him lose balance, going in the opposite direction. What happened with the student at the time is actually that he really bounced off my arm and he had to make a roll going in the other direction. So he didn't even go down close to me. I didn't have any chance to grab his wrist and elbow and do the technique. He just bounced off and left, you know, so which was secure for me as an Aikidoka. Okay, now maybe we'll switch roles and Durot will explain what is the reason actually that in Aikido the uke is in a way following the technique. It doesn't mean that he does the work for the nage, but he doesn't make this kind of hard attacks and he doesn't go really against the technique unnecessarily.
So let's discuss a little bit about why uke is training with the partner. Okay, that's kind of how we can see it. So the uke, in a sense, is kind of following the technique, but in a way that helps both people, the attacker and the person learning the technique, to develop. Okay, so we're working together, but there are roles. There is an attacker, and there is somebody who's working on a technique, and the attacker's not giving up or just doing what the person who's doing the technique, just what the person wants to do. But they're actually working on developing certain skills. Okay, so for example, we're going to go back to shomen'uchi ikkyo, okay, and motewaza. And with my partner, of course, if he doesn't know how to do the technique, then we would go through it, and he's not going to know what to do. So the uke is maybe resisting a little bit or moving in ways that I'm not used to. So I have to really train the technique, okay? And I have to do this in such a way that it doesn't injure my partner, hopefully, so that we can continue to train. Okay? So you might see the training go a little bit slow at times because there are always new people training. So we were all beginners once. And to be able to develop, you have to start from a place where you can work on things. If you're trying to learn how to swim, you can just dive into the deep end, but then you can very quickly drown. So one way to work is go through steps where you can dive into a deeper end in a more safe way. Okay? Now, he's, as Uke, my partner Marcin, is going to stay engaged in the technique so that he doesn't hurt himself. Okay? And so he doesn't want to get injured, but at the same time, he's not just falling down. Okay? So if he falls down for me, he's just going to, I don't even get a chance to work on the technique. I didn't get to develop, and he didn't really get to develop anything either. So in that sense, he's staying with me, and he's not giving me the technique, but he's staying just kind of solid, neutral, and he's feeling what's happening. So he's feeling as much as I am what's going on. Okay? And he's allowing this technique to go through his body so that it doesn't end up injuring any part of his body. So in this example here, it doesn't injure his shoulder. So he moves with it because he feels that's where it's going. That's where I've got him. Okay? And as I move him, I've got him to be able to go down to the ground. And he goes with it because he knows that that's the direction that I'm taking him. Okay? He can feel it. Now, if he didn't, then he might actually have an injury. It might actually turn or rip his shoulder or something like that. And we don't want that in our training. We want to develop in a positive way and not a negative way, okay? Not a destructive way. So that's why there's no competition in Aikido. For the next part, too, being able to stay engaged with each other will evolve into a bit more of an advanced practice called kaishiwaza. Okay? So as I work on this technique, if we stay engaged with each other, Marcin can develop his ukemi, his skills of attacking and falling, to such a degree that he can fall very well from pretty much any kind of technique with any kind of level of energy and force. But also, he can eventually even turn the technique around. So as we go through this, I start to do shomen'uchi, ikkyo, omotewaza, and as he feels, he starts to feel where it's possible to change, to reverse the technique. Okay? Now, we're not going to explain how to do this particular reversal, but you can just see the example. Okay? And you can work on these kind of reversals in any kind of way, at any moment. Right? So, boom. There's an earlier moment. So there's a lot of advantages, excuse me, there's a lot of advantages for the uke and the nage, the uke and the tori to work together. And even though it looks like the uke or the attacker is faking it, it's not. We're actually staying engaged with each other and trying to develop our Aikido to a higher level.